Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 60. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies and quiet again tonight. Lows dip down to about 42. High of 63 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Temps below average. Wednesday and Thursday with highs from the mid-60s to the mid-70s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frabley. Currently, it's 42 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Well, good morning, Georgetown, 8:15 a.m. the time. I hope everybody is off to a wonderful and great new week. Boy, talk about having a case of the Monday. Who's having a case of the Mondays today? I'm not. Had a little bit of a tech issue there for a whole minute, but we got everything rocking and rolling. Hope everybody's off to a great week. And more importantly, I hope that each and every one of you has had a wonderful and very blessed Easter. Wanted to remind everybody this show is made possible by our good friends at Oak Ridge Disciple House. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. And good morning to you, Joshua, already joining us there this morning. And, hey, it is our Monday co-host here on Good Morning Georgetown, Mr. Jay Mott and John Montgomery. What's going on, brother?
Hey, good morning, Rob. How's everybody doing today?
Doing wonderful. Want to welcome all of those, too, on our Facebook live stream. Good morning to Jeffrey Black, Stephen Giorgio, and Joshua Harris. We got a lot more folks that are joining us as well. And we just wanted to spend a few moments with you here this morning. I know that we're starting a little bit late here on a Monday, and we just didn't have any guests lined up today. Tomorrow I'm going to have Tim Burgess of Good Company that's going to be joining us with Express HVAC, so he'll be on the show tomorrow, and then we're already booking guests the remainder of this week, and so we'll have all that up. John, man, did you have a good Easter?
I did. We had a pretty busy day since the Easter Bunny didn't make it this year because apparently he's on stay-at-home orders, but we did Easter egg coloring. We got this kit from Sugar Mommies that it was cake pops, and the kids actually decorated their own cake pop and then ate that for dessert for dinner. So and we also did the Easter egg hunt and some little coloring worksheet stuff. So full day for the kids. Even during the pandemic, they were able to have a good Easter. That's
awesome, man. And you had mentioned, I think, is today. I know that kids have been off of school because of the whole pandemic, but is today like an official kids holiday, or school holiday?
Yeah, correct. The Friday and this Monday were scheduled to be off, so they do not have to do homeschooling this week, today or last Friday. And so, yeah, it's also a day off for the mothers and fathers that have been doing the homeschooling.
Yeah, man, that's been, and it's been tough too. My nieces are having to do a lot of the work or school from home, and they've been having some technical issues every once in a while. And I know my fiance, Bridget, she has been having a few technical issues with her school. I would think as a student, and I asked my nieces this weekend, I was talking to them, and I said, how are you guys holding up? Because they are 10 and 12, either 10 and 12 or 11 and 12. I ask them every time I see them, and I can't even remember, John. But I asked both of them, or my youngest niece, Brianna, and she said, I would rather be at school. She goes, I don't like doing all of this remote learning. So.
Right. They say it's supposed to be about 2 hours of classwork each day. And it seems like it's more like 4 or 5. And so just, especially with multiple kids, my fiance is doing an amazing job on homeschooling them. And she's having to do, one that's in first grade and 2 that are in 4th grade. So it's a challenge for her.
Man, how are those? How's your fiance's kiddos holding up?
They're doing great. It's luckily they all have each other to pester each other, and sometimes fight like brothers and sisters, and they keep each other company. And they have. I couldn't imagine being an only child right now, because I was an only child, and so being an only child where you're just home and it's you and your parents, and you can't really have friends over, and you can't go to your friends. I would be probably going crazy right about now.
As long as I've known you, John, and it's been a long time, I did not know that you were an only child, man.
You probably should have figured that out after about 15 years.
Yeah, I should have. That's not good on my part, man. So, Miss Jerry, if you're listening, I apologize. I didn't know. That's why you're always getting buttered up so much, man. That's why Mama Jerry's buttering you up so much, because you're an only child. So that's awesome, man. Well, hey, I want to welcome everybody in this morning. We appreciate you joining us here on Good Morning Georgetown. It's always our joy and privilege to bring you this show every single weekday morning. Sometimes it may get a little bit started late. We're trying to be more consistent with the 7 to 9, as we've been working really hard to fill a lot of programming here, and we've got a lot of wonderful guests that come on this show frequently, and we just want to have an avenue to where you can wake up in the morning, kind of know what's going on, not only here in Georgetown, but throughout the world as well. John, there was a lot of course, Easter just happened, and there was a lot. It was a whole different situation this year, because with my fiance's wonderful family, they've got a huge family, so we always get together at her parents' house, and, there's usually like 50 people there. Well, of course, this year we didn't do that. It was just us, and because they live right down the street from us, and so as far as the stay-at-home, stay-at-safe orders and all that, that's really the only people that I've been around, and that's it, and them as well. And so it's been really tough not having that family aspect, as well. And normally it's a huge gathering, and there's so many people there. And this year it was great. It was a lot more intimate, of course, but it was great, and I just miss that. And a lot of families are going through that right now, John.
Right, absolutely. And I can't, like I said, about being an only child, I can't imagine people that live by themselves right now, just in true isolation, no family, no friends over, and the only people that they see is, maybe if they go to the grocery store or something, physical contact, or not physical contact, but, social contact from, a safe distance, of course.
Well, it depends. If you're at the H-E-B on Williams Drive, then it probably is physical contact, because people are still bumping into each other. But you know what? I was just joking, but to be fair, Bridget and I had to go run to the grocery store and just a couple of days ago, and somebody had posted something on social media saying, I went in there and it was a madhouse and maybe 10% of the people were wearing masks. Well, they posted that literally like 2 hours after we went, and everyone in there was extremely friendly. The employees were doing an amazing job getting everybody kind of corralled the right way and making sure that everybody was keeping their distance. And I would say about half of the people in there were wearing masks. So I guess it just depends on what time you go. So, I really don't have any idea about how all that works. I'll tell you one thing that I'm really missing right now, though, John, is sports, man, especially baseball, and having that opportunity to call the games for our kids. And I know that that's been tough on them as well. It's just been difficult, man, for so many families. And the good news is those stimulus checks supposedly went out on Saturday. And so if you have direct deposits set up and that's how you've done your previous taxes, then you should be getting a little bit of money here pretty soon within certain guidelines. So we'll see if that helps, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a funny story you mentioned sports, because I play a lot of online poker, especially now while it's going in isolation. And I have a couple friends that live in Austin that asked me to share my screen so they could put it up on their TV and watch me play online poker. So that was their essential sports for the weekend of me playing online poker.
Hey, John, of course you have the Georgetown Poker Club as well, and I know that that's been tough because of everyone having to stay at home. But enlighten us on your poker ability, because you're a pretty good poker player from what I've heard, man. I've
played for a long time. I played before I moved here, and so I think it came down to studying and researching and getting better at it, reading books. And I've played online. I played a lot of online before they shut down most of it. A lot of it came back now, but back in, I think, 2008, they shut down a lot of the online poker. And I had a big win online for over six figures at one point. And I just love to play. It's fun.
I see. I didn't even know that about you either, man. I love doing these morning shows. I'm starting to find out all sorts of things after 15 years, man. So, well, John, you've always been a great friend. You've always been a tremendous asset to the community. That's why I'm so thankful to have you here, of course, with us every Monday. And tell us a little bit, for those that may just be joining us for the first time here on Good Morning Georgetown, or those that haven't seen you, of course, the owner of Roberts Printing. Talk a little bit about, your business and how you guys are holding up right now in the middle of all this, John.
Well, we technically are an essential business, even though right now we're closed to the public, but I'm up here working. Some of our production people come in and work like one day every couple of days just to knock out jobs. We do a lot of printing for medical hospitals, first responders. I do the printing for the city account, so for the city of Georgetown. So obviously they're first responders and, they're firefighters, police, EMS, they all need their forms and business cards and everything else. We also do blueprints and stuff. So construction that's deemed essential, we're knocking those out and doing curbside delivery on those. Our doors are locked, but we're still, handing stuff outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it seems, there's a lot of businesses that are still keeping pretty busy. You guys, I know one of them. Have you seen business drop off at all, though, or has it been pretty consistent for you guys?
Oh, no, there's been a pretty big drop considering we're not really open right now. I've been up here every morning working, knocking out jobs that I could knock out. But most of our clientele is businesses. And so with half the businesses closed, if not more, 95% of our business is business to business. So it's definitely a big drop off for us as well.
There's a lot of stimulus packages out there that are being presented, of course, and many business owners have already heard about them, and the SBA is offering loans that hopefully help out a lot of companies. There's also paycheck loans. I'm not talking about payday loans. Stay away from those, man. You don't get involved in those things. If that's your business, that's pretty lucrative, but stay away from it, because I've known a lot of people that have been hosed by those things. But we're talking about big companies that need help and folks reaching out. And, there's been just an outpouring of support, of course, all over the world. And that's, John, I always look at the positives in everything. And it has been tough. And I've said that numerous times here already this morning on the show. And people know that it's been tough. It's been tough for us. It's been tough for you guys. It's anyone that you talk to that is a business owner, 98% of them are going to say that it's been tough for them right now. And we'll just have to see how the economy is going to roll out and how it's going to play out over all of that and what this stimulus is going to do. I know for me, it's going to help make a mortgage payment, so I'm eagerly awaiting for that to come in any day now. But it's going to help out folks, but we'll see how long it goes. But the city of Georgetown has put together a program along with the Chamber of Commerce. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and the city have teamed up, and I believe that's going to be $200,000 of grant money. If I'm not mistaken, John, and I'm not sure how much knowledge you have on it either, you may have a little bit more than me on it, but I believe it's up to $5,000 for qualifying businesses in Georgetown. Do you know the details of any of that?
Yes, it is up to $5,000 depending on your needs. Well, if you divide that out, that's only 40 businesses that they could help. And so I'm obviously, some may be less. It's like if they only need a couple $1,000s, then hopefully they'll only ask for a couple thousand. I know that the poker room, the landlord isn't really doing anything to help us as far as the rent goes. So if we get that loan, most of it's going to go right to that landlord. So, and then anything left over, we'll, try to divide up to help the employees out, because most of those are, poker dealers, they get tips and stuff like that. But, as far as the loan goes, it is up to $5,000. I know that it is targeted for businesses like restaurants, really highly high traffic businesses.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, that's one good thing. I'm not a restaurant owner, but that is one good thing, is there are a lot of restaurants that are staying pretty busy, and I'm not downplaying that. I know that there's a lot of them that are struggling right now, but man, every time I drive by places like HTO, their line is just out the door. Starbucks isn't, I don't think Starbucks is hurting right now, because there's people lined up all the way around the building at that place at both locations. There's a lot of restaurants that are doing okay right now, and I think that they're going to make it. A lot of the more popular places here in Georgetown, I think they're going to come out of this very strong. What I'm really and I'm not downplaying that, John. There's a lot of great folks out there and a lot of great businesses, but I think in our community, the ones that are going to hurt the hardest are going to be the ones that maybe aren't the popularist or the ones that are the most well known. For instance, it's kind of a gym in the middle of Georgetown, and I hope that they do okay. And it's San Pedro Limon over there at the end of Williams Drive, and I'm trying to think of how to describe it. At the end of Williams Drive and Austin Avenue, right there next to the auto parts store where the Zydeco shaved ice is. There's a Mexican restaurant right there that may not be as popular. And those are the businesses that I really hope. And again, I'm not taking anything away from any business down the square or any of the restaurants there because there's a lot of great ones. But I really hope that folks will continue to go to those businesses, John. But then these smaller restaurants that may not have a lot of support that you hear of just because they're not as popular, those are the ones that I'm worried about. San Pedro Limon has been in Georgetown, I think, for almost 10 years. And so those are the guys that I really hope, can benefit from a lot of this stimulus, because I think the more popular restaurants, people are going to show up to those and things are going to rebound for those guys. I wouldn't say quickly, but it's going to rebound. It's the smaller ones that I'm really concerned about. And so we've been putting together a list, whether you're a very popular restaurant or not. Look, we want to help you out. We want people to know that you're open. And how many people know that we got to eat? And we got a lot of places to eat in Georgetown. So once all this kind of skims over and we're back to this is another thing, John, that I wanted to say too. I don't know if we should go back to normal, because was normal working? That's been a debate that I have seen with some folks. Was normal actually working to begin with? I think our economy was doing pretty great. We were strong, but I kind of don't want to go back to normal. I want to go back to being active and being around people and hugging on people and helping with business and helping promote business. But I think as far as normal goes, we're going to have a new normal now. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, I really don't know what normal is. But I just thought, I went to Gumbo's Friday night. I like to try to support Gumbo's and local owned businesses as well as, like you were saying, but went to Gumbo's Friday night, and usually Denise and Schuler give me a big hug, and it's just like, more of a hi, so yeah. I definitely miss the hugs of the normal aspect though.
Well, it's been tough. Denise and Schuler have done so much for this community. Whenever I owned Click and we moved to Leander Road, we had a grand opening there, and I reached out to Schuler and I said, hey, I'd love for you guys to come by and serve some gumbo to us. And he didn't even ask any questions. He's like, what day is it besides that? And I told him, he goes, we'll be there. And they ended up not even, they ended up working with me on it and said, don't worry about it. And I was like, are you kidding me? And they just wanted to help out, because that's the kind of folks that Denise and Schuler are. And to this day, I still feel in debt to them because they never let me pay them for that catering. And it was a smaller event, but still it meant a lot to me. And so to this day, I'm still forever grateful to Denise and Schuler. And that's why here just a few weeks ago, before the stay-at-home orders were really put into place, but they weren't allowing people into restaurants, they wanted to do a little video. And I said, well, hey, let me come by and help you with that, a live stream video, because they do so much for the community. And there's so many stories of so many wonderful business owners in our community that help out and that take care of folks. So you guys at Roberts Printing, John, you've helped me a lot with things over the years, and so many other companies. I think that's what the culture of Georgetown is. That still remains the hometown and the small town feel of this community, and what makes it so special, John.
Yeah, and what's funny is they did the exact same thing for me for the poker room. I wanted them to cater it, and they just said, hey, we got it, don't worry about it. And obviously we tried to do everything we could during the event and at the poker room to market them, as because they, just to think, if they did that for you and I, how many people in the community are they helping out that we just don't hear about? Because they don't even look for the recognition about it. It's amazing what kind of hearts they have over there and other businesses in Georgetown.
Well, I wanted to tell folks, if you're open for business right now, let us know at hrngeorgetown.com/open. That is hrngeorgetown.com/open. And let us know that you are open for business. And if you go to that website, there's a form there that you can fill out. But here's what's also really cool is if you go to that website, you can also see the businesses that have submitted information. We're still getting that updated. We got quite a bit that have came into there now. But the ones that we had so far, Mill Direct Carpet and Flooring, they're one of our sponsors here on HRN. And Jim wanted me to let folks know that they are open. And these are the companies right now that really need a lot of support. Look, you're talking about a flooring company that's been in Georgetown for well over 20-plus years. These are the kind of companies right now that really need support because things have dramatically slowed down for these guys. And they're still busy. I'm not just saying these guys as in Mill Direct. I'm just talking about the flooring industry in general. They're still staying fairly busy, but not as much as they were, and they want folks to know that they're open. So there's still a lot of – John, you've been in real estate. You know there's still a lot of real estate transactions going on right now, man.
Well, yeah, you also have to think real estate is, 45 to 60 days out. So, 2 months ago when, as you were saying, the world was normal, these transactions started. And so now they're having to close and finish, and people are doing construction and everything else. So, yeah, it's been going in the works for a couple months probably.
And these are the companies. These are the folks. You talk about businesses that have been in Georgetown for a long time. These are I always say that I've said it on every show, it seems like, over the past couple of weeks, that we are where we're at right now because of someone else. This community in Georgetown, we are where we're at right now because of everyone that's came before us. And that's so deep to think about. I think a lot of it about the business community, that a lot of these companies that were here long before any of us were here, those are the companies that set the foundation, that helped get the economy rolling in Georgetown. I remember growing up here when I was born and raised here, and growing up as a little kid, seeing the square downtown completely shuttered with only a few businesses open. We're talking about boards over windows. That's how it was in the 80s in Georgetown. And then the Main Street Project rolled around, the Main Street program, and revitalized downtown. And we have the most beautiful town square in Texas now. And it's because of those businesses. It's because of folks that are there. It's because of people that came before us that saw something special in our community. And John, how many little small towns have you driven through that have a downtown area and you think, my goodness, if this was just cleaned up and fixed up, how beautiful it would be? There's tons of those towns here in the state that have the potential to have amazing downtown areas. And for whatever reason, those areas have not been beautified the way that Georgetown has. And I think that's one thing that makes our community extremely special. I drive in broadcasting. We drive all over the place, especially at the high school level. That's what I love about high school broadcasting, is we may go to small towns, or we drive through a ton of small towns. And I see so many wonderful communities that have beautiful downtown areas, or they have the potential to be beautiful downtown areas, but for whatever reason, they're just not. We are so blessed here in Georgetown to have what we have.
Yeah, if you drive east and west to travel, you're going to go through some towns, and you see these towns, it's like a ghost town. It's like, what happened here where all these businesses are vacant? But I wanted to circle back to something that you were saying about, supporting businesses. I actually make it a point that if a company is supporting your radio network and I have a need, I'm definitely going to go try to use them, because, I think all of us business owners that support each other need to work together to, obviously just in general, but definitely to make it through this.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, John. And it's, it's everyone has their own kind of little groups and their own little worlds that they're involved in. And I highly encourage you that whatever group and whatever world that you're involved in, especially if you're in the business community, do business with those that are in your world right now, because they need it. And then I'm going to tell you what, if there's businesses that are outside of your world that may not get a lot of support, do business with those guys as well, because they need it right now. But when I talk about companies like Mill Direct Carpet and Flooring, they're open for business. Many on here on this list, Mill Direct is a sponsor. Look, I'm telling folks right now, if you're open for business, I don't care if you're a sponsor or not. We always want to give back to the community. This is one way that we are giving back here at HRN, is by letting folks know that you're open and giving you that much more of a presence, because we have an audience like everybody else has an audience in their own things. We have an audience here on HRN that reaches a pretty good amount of folks. Our website's starting to pick up a lot of traffic. We're very thankful and blessed for that, because we're keeping it updated. In fact, today at 1 o'clock, we will have our Monday press conference with Judge Bill Gravel, so we'll have that on. We live stream that here on HRN. We also try to do it on Facebook Live as well. Now, look, I'm not giving away free advertising. There's value in being a sponsor, of course. And I think right now, and I'm not just saying this, I think right now, John, is the best time to promote your business, because when things do return back to what I hope is the new normal, when things turn back, that is when business is going to be booming for a lot of folks. And I think that those are putting their name out there right now, that are taking that investment, saying, you know what, I know that it's tough, but I've got an opportunity right now to continue to keep my name out there, maybe put my name out there in ways that I haven't put it out there before, that's going to be ingrained in a lot of people, and they're going to think about that when things get back to the way after this COVID-19. So we'll see how it goes. But that's just what we're trying to do. So whether you're a sponsor or not, we are going to put you on our Open for Business page if you fill out the form. We're not doing that to data mine or collect your data. We're not going to harass you about becoming a sponsor, anything like that. We just want to know, are you open or are you not? And we're putting that on our website, and we're promoting that. Mill Direct Carpet and Flooring is open. They're one of our sponsors. A couple of businesses, not a sponsor, but they are open, and we appreciate them because they do a lot of great work in our community. 600 Degrees Marketplace, they are open right now. Louisiana Crab Shack, that's a business, John, that's right there behind Starbucks, and kind of I don't know how to really describe, but almost kind of hidden in that location. And I hope and pray that those guys make it, because that location, for whatever reason, has not worked out for many businesses. And I think it's just because you're kind of crammed in behind Chipotle and Starbucks that you forget that it's there. Great food. Have you been over there, man? It's pretty good food.
Oh, absolutely. We went over there. I kept seeing people post about it, and Jessica and I were like, yeah, let's go try that. We went and ate there and loved it. But yeah, it's you mentioned it, and I was like, wait, where's that? Oh, I've been there. So I totally even forgot that it was there.
Yeah, and that's that's why that location, I've seen a lot of great businesses come and go from that location. Verkskebab was there, and that was pretty good food, man, but it's just that location. And so they said, hey, can you put us on? I said, dude, that's exactly why we have the website, because we want to put you on there, that you're open. Health and wellness, there's holistic wellness and primary care. Angela Pinkerton sending that to us. They are open. One of our new sponsors here on Hip Radio Network, Georgetown Air Conditioning and Heating. That's Tim Burgess. They are open right now, providing service calls, installation of new systems, spring maintenance. Garage Addicts, they are open for business right now. They sent us their information. Again, these aren't just people who are sponsors or not. It's a mix of businesses here. Another company that's open, not a sponsor, Benchmark Mortgage. They sent us some information. And then you think about these businesses, John, that for me as a consumer, I don't use them, but you don't even think about them. The Smoke Shop at One Love, the One Love Tattoos, they're open right now. They can't, of course, have their store, but they're providing phone and online orders with free delivery in Georgetown. So look, if you've got a business, you're a business owner, just let us know that you're open. We're going to work hard to put you on that list. Again, it is hrngeorgetown.com/open, and we will do our best to get you on that list. I've got a lot of them that I've got to add today, John, because I was going through that list, and, man, I think that we've had 30 or 40 of them come in here. And so, that and what I like about seeing those businesses come in here, John, we have actually 28 of them that have came in. And what I like about that list, John, is that it also shows the audience that we are reaching. 28 folks have heard about this message. They've submitted their business. And so we're just letting people know what's going on. HTO, Tail Wagons Dog Bakery, Sarah Bolton with USA Health Advisors, GTX Plumbing, Mikey V's Hot Sauce Shop, ASA Imagery, who is an amazing sponsor here on HRN, A Step Ahead Investigations, Mariachis de Jalisco. Man, I went there the other day. I picked up food. They got it. Dude, they got it set up right, brother. They got the whole booth outside. And when I rolled up, they were playing some amazing Tejano music. And I started dancing, and they were smiling. We were laughing. We were doing a little social distancing dancing, man. We were having fun over there. Hometown Roofing Pros is open. Stephanie Stephanie Robbins, Certified Health Coach. Zoo Pet Hospital, GTX Awards, Surface Pros Incorporated. That's Wayne Filer, one of our sponsors here on HRN. Dr. Chow Wynn at Agna Health Direct Primary Care, another great sponsor. And Dr. Wynn will be on this show, on this program, once every 2 weeks to give us a COVID-19 update. You talk about a guy who really is invested and cares about this community, John. That is Dr. Wynn. Man, I don't know how he does it. I honestly don't know how he does. I have never had a doctor that is as hands-on as far as communication than Dr. Wynn. It's unbelievable. You send a guy a message on his app, on the app that they have, and you'll get a response sometimes almost immediately. That is crazy.
Yeah, Dr. Wynn's great. He's actually my doctor as well. And it was crazy. The first time when I went to my appointment with him, I seriously sat there was with him for an hour and 15 minutes. And I was in the lobby for about 2.5 minutes before he took me back. And so usually it's the other way around. You wait an hour and a half in the lobby, and then you're with the doctor for 2.5 minutes. So for him to spend that much time, and with their membership plans, it's definitely an amazing, family doctor that we have.
Yeah, and he reached out to me. I didn't even reach out to him. He's my doctor. I don't want to bug him, but I don't try to be really. I don't want to say it like in a bad way. I don't try to be aggressive with sales. That's just how I've always been wired. I got to make a living like everybody else, but at the same token, it's like I don't like hounding people or calling them. But he reached out to me, goes, Rob, I want to advertise. And I said, man, we got an awesome platform to do it, Dr. Wynn. Plus, you're my doctor. So what? It's cool when you can endorse someone who's your advertiser because you use them. How many times do you hear on the radio, go by and see Joe Bob over? Well, I don't want to say Joe Bob over Georgetown Interstate because he's awesome. So Joe Bob, if you're listening, that's not you. I'm just saying, that's just a name out there, Joe Bob.
How about Billy Bob?
Yeah, Billy Bob. There we go. Well, go by and see Billy Bob over Billy Bob's Food House. Boy, I ate there last night, and it was great. But did you really eat there last night? We're genuine here on HRN. If we ate there, we're going to straight up tell you we ate there. We're not just going to make it up.
So, actually, while you're talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there for everybody. Your advertising packages are super affordable, and the value that you get is amazing. And I've looked at other radio stuff for, other businesses, and it's just outrageous. And so for the value that you provide and the price that you provide, I think everybody needs to just get on a Zoom call with you and definitely, at least get the figures, especially in this time when we're going to be coming back into open for business. It's a perfect way to market their business. And not to mention, you're on Facebook saying, hey, for example, I'm a sponsor for Roberts Printing. If somebody's looking for something, you're like, hey, go check out Roberts Printing, talk to them. And if you have multiple sponsors, you mention both of them.
Yeah.
And so I think just the added value of, the social networking, and probably that alone is worth what we pay for the sponsorship. So I encourage every business out there to get out there and, schedule a Zoom appointment with you and at least get the information, because it's nowhere near the cost of traditional radio.
Oh, I appreciate that, Johnny. Yeah, for me, it's what it is. It's a platform to promote business, and I'm not I'm not making the show an infomercial this morning, but just telling you this: we care about this community, we care about getting your name out there, and look, it's kind of a new venture for us because the traditional radio is awesome and it works. And on a commercial side, it works really well in communities where it's been established. This whole idea really started coming to me through my friend Nathan. He's one of my best friends, love him, and he's like a brother to me, and he had an app on his phone, and I said, man, you know how cool that would be if Georgetown had a commercial radio. We have a nonprofit station, which is great, focuses a lot on local artists. But on the commercial side, I love to promote business. On nonprofit, you can't promote certain things in certain ways just because of the way the laws are. And so I said it would be so incredible if Georgetown had a commercial station where we could promote businesses openly and freely. But the issue is you can't get an FCC license. You can't go to the FCC and apply for a license anymore. They're just not issuing them. There's so many radio stations out there. But also, if you're doing that, John, in a way, you're kind of going backwards. And I say that because we're in a we've been on the digital frontier now for 20 years. You remember back in the day, it was Circuit City. And I still remember that commercial clear as day because it go, welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art. And it was like, that was the phrase back then, was state of the art. Do you remember that? When everything you would talk to people like, oh man, I got this new computer. It's state of the art. I've got this MP3 player that just came out. It's state of the art. That was the phrase. That was the marketing phrase back then. And we've been in this digital frontier, and I don't even know if you call it a frontier anymore. Now it's this digital movement. And many traditional commercial-based and even nonprofit-based, but more so commercial-based radio stations understand the importance of going digital, because we live in a society where everybody is on demand. I want it now. I want to hear it now. That's the way things go. And so for us to take this leap and say we're going to focus on an online internet radio station for Georgetown, it was a tremendous leap of faith, but we knew that it would work because of the community that we live in, John, because of how connected people are. But it's not going to work if it's just a 30-second ad. It's just not. Let's be honest. A 30-second ad will not work, and it especially will not work if it's you only play it once or twice. That's why we run ads 150 times a month on our station, 7 days a week, between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., because it's that exposure that constantly, as you know, it's all about marketing, man, and getting people's name out there. And if you say your name, it's just like you this morning with the Roberts Printing background and your Roberts Printing hat and your logo. People see that and they know, and that's in the back of their mind. You know, we used to average that. See, on the shirt, man. And yeah. And the thing is, I remember back in the day when I had Click, and trust me, there's tremendous value in advertising with traditional radio. There really is, because again, it's all about your name. And if you want to get on our local station here in Georgetown, I can help make that happen as well. Just let me know. That's part of an add-on. Once we build up revenue here at HRN, those are add-ons that we're going to offer to sponsors at very affordable rates to also get more exposure on our FM signal here in Georgetown, nonprofit signal. It's just a different way that you have to advertise, though. But we can make that happen. That's the thing, though, man. It's all about, your name, and getting that out there. And what I'm getting at is the community, in our community, it works. And when I was at Huntsville, John, I saw the way that community embraced the commercial FM radio station in Huntsville, Texas. And I said, man, if we just had a commercial station in Georgetown, think of the awesome way that we could promote business. And kind of going back, though, because we're digital only, the 30-second ads work as long as they're consistent and they're constantly being on the air. And that's why we play them 5 times a day if you're a business sponsor here on HRN. It works, but it doesn't work on its own. And you talked about it. That's why there needs to be marketing on social media and on websites as well. If we just ran a 30-second ad, even though there's tremendous value in that, that doesn't benefit your business. That's just like any other thing that's out there on radio. You're not just a number. We put value, and I'm glad that you brought that up, John. So, I'm not gonna sit there and promote that all day, but I'm just saying that is why it's so important to continue to get your name out there. There was other businesses that submitted on that forum. We talked about Dr. Wynn, a Catfish Parlor. They're not a sponsor, but they're open for business. Go by and see them. I know Chris. They're great folks, man. Gary Brown, CPA, he's open for business. Annette Montgomery, she is a sponsor on HRN, and in fact, she renewed her sponsorship. And I'm going to be honest, John, that was another thing that I was concerned about during this whole COVID-19, is I said, man, I'm hoping and praying that we don't have a lot of sponsors drop off, because I think, like I keep saying, now is the most critical time to continue to promote your business. And we were so blessed to only have one sponsor that said, hey, we can't do it right now. I said, hey, that's totally cool. We'll circle back in a couple of months. And they said, please do. But everybody that we've had up until now has renewed their advertising except one person, and we're thankful for that. A1 Smartphone and Tablet Repair. That's Amanda Garling over there. We appreciate her and Chris. Wonderful folks. They're a sponsor on HRN. They've got a really awesome commercial that we put together for them, but it's just funny. I love how they work together. Program Insurance Group. That's another sponsor here on HRN. Kyle Hepp. Appreciate Kyle and Doug Groves. And then last on our list is Express HVAC Service, Tim Burgess. And so, again, one final time, if you've got a business and you're open, we want to hear from you. It's hrngeorgetown.com/open, and we will let you know. We will get you up on that website. John, I wanted to mention we've got something that you and I have been working on. It's got some traction. We need it to get more traction. I'm going to work hard this week to try to get that out to the media as well. We talked earlier about companies here in Georgetown that there's a lot of opportunities for promotions right now, or not just promotions, but also grant money from the city and the Chamber of Commerce. But there's businesses that don't fall into some categories that they may not be eligible for that grant money. And if you've listened to this show, you know that some of those options are, look, in order to be eligible for that grant money, there's three things that have to happen. One, you have to be in the city of Georgetown limits, in the city limits. Two, you have to have basically a brick and mortar store or a retail or an office. It doesn't have to be retail, but you have to have a storefront or an office. If it's a home-based business, you can't. The application there says that you're not eligible. And then third, you have to have less than 25 employees. And you have to be incorporated also with the Secretary of State. I know a lot of businesses in a community that even have brick and mortar, but they're not incorporated. So you may not be eligible for those city grants. That's why John Montgomery of Roberts Printing, who's on the show now, of course, here on Mondays with us, and myself at HRN, we have teamed up with our commitment to community to help out businesses that are in need. There's a lot of businesses that may not be eligible. We want to help those businesses. We'll help anybody, look, but we really want to focus and help on those businesses who may not be eligible. And I've asked people, John, over the past 2 weeks, let us know what your needs are and be very specific and clear about those needs. I would say about a third of those needs that have came in, we've had, I believe, let's see here, 14 companies so far that have let us know their needs. About a third of those, it's just they were honest. They said, we need money. So I was wondering, how can we help those needs? We're going to hold an online auction. Originally, it was going to be scheduled for the middle of this month. We've extended that now to give more people an opportunity to get involved. We're going to hold that online auction in May, and we're trying to get it sooner than later because there's people who have needs right now that need to be met. And so, John, I'm excited about that, man. I went down and picked up a little tequila barrel the other day, man, and Bridget joked around with me because I had it in the house on the table. She goes, "Yeah, I broke in." She goes, "That was really good tequila." I said, "Bridget, what are you doing? That's for the auction." And she started laughing and said, "I'm just kidding." I got nervous, man. I thought she was drinking the tequila in there, man. That was for the auction. So that's what we're trying to do, John, and I think it's a great opportunity. We've got almost $5,000 worth of items. Now, I say worth of items. Of course, people are going to have to bid to make that an actual value. But if you're a business who needs help, let us know at hrngeorgetown.com/support. That is hrngeorgetown.com/support. You may be a business, too, that says, look, I've got an item that I'd like to donate. You can donate that item at hrngeorgetown.com/auction. And, John, I know you've been working on that as well, and you've had some items come in and some things as well, man.
Yes, we've had some items from different businesses. One thing that I like to see is we've had businesses that will buy gift cards from other businesses so they could donate those to the auction. So that's awesome because it's not only supporting a business that needs help. I know that Dr. Wynn, you're mentioning, bought a Schlotzsky's gift card to donate, and that went, in the auction. GTX Plumbing bought a Spa Lux gift card, and that's going in the auction as well. So when you're able to support another business by helping out the auction, I mean, it's, two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and the way that we've did this auction too is because we want businesses, of course, to benefit from this. That's the whole point of doing it, John. And we've made it really awesome in the way that it works is, look, you donate an item to the auction, there's ways that money is going to be dispersed. One of them is a business can say, hey, I want to donate 100% of those proceeds to the entire pool. That means everybody who has filled out that form at hrngeorgetown.com/support. That means that they want to donate the proceeds of that item, or the company that needs help wants to get the proceeds of whatever item. If they decide to donate an item, they can say, look, I want to donate that money to the entire pool so everybody shares in it. And what I'm talking about right now, just to not be confusing, these are companies that say, look, I need help, but I also want to help. I need help, but I also want to help. How can I be a part of this? But I need help, but I want to help. So they may donate an item. They may say, look, take 100% of the proceeds, donate it to the rest of the pool. There's other companies that said, look, we need help, but we also want to help. So, look, I'm going to donate an item. We'll keep 50% of the proceeds, and the other 50% will go to the pool. And then, John, as you know, there may be some companies, and it's not selfish. That's why we're doing this, that say, look, I would love to help, but I just can't right now. I'm going to donate some items, but we would like 100% of those proceeds, and that's okay as well. I haven't had anybody do that just yet, but if there's a company that needs that, look, we're not going around making it public what you're sharing or not. That's up to you. What we are making public is that you need help, and we want to help you. That's what it's about, man.
I actually just got a text from Lee over at Climate Control Pros, and they have those air quality UV lights. They, get rid of bacteria and viruses, and it's already been tested to work against viruses like the COVID virus. It goes into your air conditioner system. He's just told me that he's going to donate one of those, and that includes the installation. to the auction. So that's a huge prize.
Man, and Lee is an advertiser here with Climate Control Pros. Lee, we appreciate you. In fact, Lee was just out at my house, I guess about 2 weeks ago, and put in a new condenser, a new heat pump outside. Because, man, look, man, when your AC's not working and it's about to start getting hot and you have a fiance and that AC ain't working, you may not have a fiance anymore. So you get that unit fixed. You know what I'm saying? John, you got a fiance. You know what's up, man.
Yeah, when you need a pro, you got to call your bro at Climate Control Pros.
Well, Lee, we really appreciate that. And with Lee's generous donation to that auction, man, that's going to put us over 6. I know that thing's not cheap, Lee, and we appreciate that, man. Here's a list of some of the items so far that we've confirmed to receive. A $100 gift card to Spa Lux. We appreciate that. We've also received a carry course certificate to Guns Plus. That is pretty cool. So, look, if you're wanting to do concealed carry, Guns Plus is donating a certificate to help you get that. Tap Snap. This one is huge, John. This is an $1,100 value from Blake Nicholson over at Tap Snap. He has donated 4 hours of the Tap Snap booth rental. Those things aren't cheap. And, I mean, they're not. It's not like they're overly expensive, but we're talking about 4 hours. That's almost $1,200 value. Here at HRN, we're offering 3 months of advertising. We put a $600 value on that. That is a tremendous opportunity. And then also for SHN Sports, which is our broadcasting company for high school sports, we are auctioning off 2 $1,000 value presenting sponsors for Georgetown High School and for Eastview High School. This is going to be for football, and hopefully we'll be back and ready to roll in the fall. So we're doing that. Those are $1,000 a piece. ASA Imagery, a $500 value of aerial and ground interior photography. Man, ASA, you've seen his videos, the stuff, and of course, Richard is a sponsor here on HRN. You've seen his stuff, man. It's extremely professional, and he's licensed. Everything that he does is legit. There's a lot of guys that fly drones that may not be licensed. He's licensed. Everything he's doing with his business is 150% legit.
Yeah, Richard's great, and I've seen, he's in the BNI group that you actually just put an application in, and I've seen all his videos and photos, and he's done some stuff for me over at the poker room as well. And so, yeah, he does an amazing job.
So he's donated that. That's a $500 value. Here's a really cool one, John, and I really appreciate this. Cody Hurt over at Mesquite Creek. He has donated an annual membership to Mesquite Creek Outfitters, and that one-year membership, about a $250 value. And what's cool about that is, with that membership, you can go in and get 2 free beers a day for a full year. That's pretty incredible, man, to have that membership. 2 beers a day is what you can go in and get if you have that membership. Then also our friends at Dulce Vida Tequila. That one was you, John, making that one happen. Frankie had donated a tequila basket, 4 different bottles of tequila. There's a T-shirt in there as well and a nice basket. Those are just some of the items. I know that you've got some more as well, John. We really need a lot more because in order to have a successful auction, you've got to have a variety of different items. And so we really need a lot more items right now. I believe once we add yours up and the ones that we've got on this list, we've probably got about 15 or so. Really want to try to get 40 to 50 items, and I think that we'll have a pretty healthy auction if we can get that. And what's cool about it, John, it's all online the way that we're doing it. So it's going to be an online auction, live streamed, and we'll keep that bad boy rocking and rolling, man. So one final time, if you've got an item you'd like to support businesses here in Georgetown, or maybe you're a business who needs help, consider donating those items to hrngeorgetown.com/auction, and we would love to be a part to help promote you through that, but also, more importantly, to help out businesses here in our community. John, it's 9 o'clock.
Rob.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I just want to point out the fact that you're putting your money where your mouth is and donating some great advertising packages there. And so, it's, you're not only are you, doing all of this, on your own for no, profit or anything, but you're also donating big packages as well.
Yeah, we just look, it's about getting your name out there, and I appreciate that, John, and we're trying to do what we can to keep things rocking and rolling. And like I said, with Lee, with that UV device that he was talking about, that's definitely going to put us over 5,000 for sure now. So we'll actually probably be closer to 6,000 in items. again, to make this work, though, we've got to have a lot of items, and we're going to continue to rock and roll, and we appreciate the support of our community. John, before we go, man, time has gotten away pretty quick here. Did want to say good morning to a lot of folks out there. Mary McKenna joining us. Good morning. Stephen Vasquez, Stephen Giorgio, Jesse. Hey, good morning, Jesse. What's going on, man? Stephanie Dillard joining us. Brian, Texas. Coach LaPlante in Hutto. Man, I hope you are doing okay, Coach. That is the head coach of Hutto football, Coach Brad LaPlante. Please appreciate all you do for the community there in Hutto. They're one of our network partners on SHN. Travis Anderberg joining us. Miss Benji Donaldson, good morning to you, Benji. Stephen Clark, Tracy Willis, Tef Khan, Carly Pilgrim, good morning. Jason Settle, Jose Franco, what's up, my man? Sonnet Medrano, Jennifer Miller joining us. Maria Ariano, good morning to you. Bubba Vadir, appreciate you. Lee saying good morning to us earlier. We appreciate you. Pete Riefel. Tori Clark over at Spa Lux, who's one of our sponsors. We had her on the show Friday. Man, I love the energy that Tori brings. I'm going to tell you what, if you're having a bad day, just once Spa Lux is back open where you can go in, go by and see Tori. She'll cheer you up. That's all you got to do is just go see her. And she'll, as soon as you see her, you'll have a better day, man. How can you have a bad day when you're around people that are always smiling, John? I just don't get it.
Exactly. I mean, a smile will affect everybody, and once you put them in a good mood, then they pass that on, and it's infectious.
Craig Mooney over at Georgetown Shirt. Good morning to you, Craig. Christine Tomaszewski joins us. Good morning, Christine. Lee Ortiz, good morning to you. One of my best friends, my partner with SHN Sports, Mr. Carl Schoening joined. Good morning to you, Carl. Coach Munoz, Ron Clear, got a few more here. Scott Stout, what's up, Scott? Cole Smith, my awesome cousin. By the way, Cole, is the baby here yet, man? Cole's already a daddy times 1. He's a daddy times 2 on the way. I think the baby was due on April the 5th, man. And so I hope that baby's on the way, cousin. I love you, man. Austin Chittum joining us. Albert Padilla, good morning. Richard De La Vega, Perry Trevelyan, good morning, Perry. Mr. Jim Wilson, Jeremy Paint. Jeremy Paint joining us. Ken Holland in Huntsville, Texas. Carolyn Martin joining us from Georgetown Antique Mall. Pete Zenner, appreciate you and Nancy. Sherry Sally. Hey, Stephen Vasquez, what's up, man? And check this out. Really, man, this is incredible. I just wanted to say this real quick, John. Carolyn Martin over at, and I just talked about her, Carolyn Martin over at Georgetown Antique Mall has said, look, we would like to donate a $100 gift certificate to the auction to help businesses. Carolyn, thank you so much, by the way. We certainly do appreciate you and all that you do. We love you and what you do in this community. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And that's a business, right down on the square in the heart of Georgetown. Carolyn has been here for a very long time. I've known her a long time. And once they get officially open back in business, go by and see Carolyn. She does so much for this community. She supports the schools. And now with this auction, just incredible. We appreciate it. Tef Khan also joining us this morning, and Rob as well. We appreciate you guys. They said that they're interested in being a sponsor. And by the way, look, here's how it works. Just one last little plug here since this came up. We only allow 4 per category in many industries. Now, restaurants, that's not true. It's 4 per types of restaurants. We're not going to have 100 different pizza companies, but we only allow 4 per category. And we have 1 more real estate spot open, and that's it, because we already have 3 wonderful realtors. And so I've had calls with about 3 more in the past 2 weeks. Nobody committing just yet, and so that is still open. Again, we only allow 4 per category in most industries. And so if you want to sponsor, like I said, now's never been a better time, and we can get you situated. More importantly, is we promote you, and that's what it's about. It's not about us. It's not about us trying to make revenue. It's about us promoting you in the community and letting people know that you are there and that you are active. And, John, one final thing is there's a lot of benefits of that sponsorship, and I'll talk to those individually with folks. But one really cool thing about it is we do something called Commitment to Community with nonprofits. And every quarter we team up with a nonprofit. And this is what it's about in Georgetown, Texas, friends. It's about getting involved and giving back. And so not just being a sponsor on HRN, but how can you give back to the community? Well, as a sponsor, you can be involved in our Commitment to Community nonprofit drives that we hold every quarter. That is one way that we can help show your business in the community is an opportunity to give back and help out others. That's what's important, and that's the culture that we have here in Georgetown. So we appreciate all of you, and we will definitely reach out and chat more. John, I know we've talked a lot today. We had short time. Did want to quickly go over what it is today, though. It's a national day of 4 different things. Okay? National Day of 4 different things today. It is National Scrabble Day. Are you a Scrabble player, John?
I actually play that little Words with Friends online. So, yeah, I am on that app.
So, John, in a way, this is your day today. It's National Scrabble Day, man.
You go.
Happy National Scrabble Day. It's also National Peach Cobbler. I thought it was called Cobbler. It's Cobber. Did you know that?
Cobbler.
No, it says
Cobbler.
I thought it would. This says Peach Cobber. Did they?
Maybe that's something else.
Oh, they misspelled it. Oh, the National Day calendar had a mistake. Wow. They put National Peach Cobbler Day. I didn't know it was Cobber. National Peach Cobbler Day today. Also, it is National Thomas Jefferson Day and National Make Lunch Count Today Day. That's pretty funny.
Did you know that it's also April is National Autism Awareness Month?
I did not know that, man, for the entire month.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome, man. Well, I did not know that, man. Well, as far as the National Make Lunch Count Day, I don't think I'm going to participate in that one because, dude, I got down to 202 pounds, and then I started going on a little bit of a bad food. I wouldn't say binge, but just Easter yesterday, I ate a lot of food. The past couple of days, I've eaten a lot. Dude, I'm back up to 207, and I can't have that. So I'm going to make it public today that I'm back on the healthy track. And in fact, last night I felt so guilty. I got on the treadmill for about 20 minutes. That probably didn't do anything, but I got on it for 20 minutes to feel a little bit better before I went to sleep. So anyways, well, John, any final comments, man, before we go today?
Yeah, just that it doesn't take a big act to change the world. It's a lot of small acts are what does it. So if everybody could just, check with your neighbor, check with somebody, get on your Nextdoor app and see if anybody in your community needs help. I mean, there's disabled and elderly people that can't get out that need help. So lots of acts of kindness are what's going to help us get through this together.
Markets are opening up this morning 350 points lower, and that on the news of just falling oil prices. OPEC making an announcement earlier that they're going to cut back to historic reduction amounts in oil production to try to help settle that market. John, I saw a post that someone was paying, I think it was 98 cents a gallon for gas. That is incredibly crazy, man. 98 cents a gallon. Now, I've seen it as low in this area of $1. I think it was 42, which is still pretty low, but 98 cents. Dude, I think that the last time I saw 98 cents a gallon, I think I was in high school, man. Because I remember the lowest I ever remember seeing gas growing up ever was at a Diamond Shamrock with my uncle in San Antonio. It was 79 cents a gallon.
I think I remember 89 cents, but I was just told that it's like $1.20 in Leander right now.
That's crazy. Well, everybody get on the road to Leander. So, well, hey, thanks to everybody for joining us this morning. John, appreciate you, man, and we'll be rocking and rolling again tomorrow. Our Tuesday co-host is Mr. Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House, and we will also have Tim Burgess on the show tomorrow from Express HVAC Service. So excited to have him on, and then we are filling spots the rest of this week as well. So for more information, you can always check us out on at hrngeorgetown.com. By the way, if you don't have the app, download the app because this station is more than this show. It's more than Facebook Live. We play music 24/7, 365. Pretty cool mix of country, pop, and a little bit of classic rock in there to keep you going throughout the day as well. John, appreciate you, man. It's been fun, and we'll rock and roll again next week, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Great time.
All right. Well, once again, that is John Montgomery, our Monday co-host here on Hip Radio Network. And go by and support John and help his business. If you need printing services, it's Roberts Printing down on the square in Georgetown. And we appreciate all that John does for our community. He's just very active, and he's always supported a lot of local businesses and, more importantly, giving back to the community where he can. Friends, it's 9:12. We're going to sign off a little bit late today. We got started a little bit later than we thought, but just want to encourage you today to give back where you can to help out. Remember, more information, if you're a business who needs help, visit hrngeorgetown.com/support. If you are open for business and you'd like to let folks know on that, it's hrngeorgetown.com/open. Or if you have an auction item and you'd like to donate that item, you can visit hrngeorgetown.com/auction and help out businesses in that way. We appreciate Lee Ortiz for donating some items here, as he mentioned it on our show, as well as Carolyn Cunningham Martin over at Georgetown Antique Mall. We appreciate you, Carolyn, and all of those who are helping to get through this. We're all in it together. Friends, as I end every broadcast, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. lend a hand of support. Somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless you. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Tip Radio Network, Georgetown. We are your hometown station. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for joining us.